Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I made these super cute hearts using some of my scraps. All you need is a pattern, scraps, and then a scrap piece of batting and something for the backing on the pillow. So I'm just going to grab a strip and then lay it down, and then another one right sides together with that one, and sew a 1/4 inch along there. And then I'm just going to finger press it. I'm not going to take this to the iron every time. And you could do this totally random, but I do have a pattern kind of figured out. So you just keep grabbing strips and then sewing them at a 1/4 inch and then finger pressing open and then doing the next one. I'm going to be doing 2 different designs today. One is going to be with the stripes and then one is going to be with a patchwork. I prefer the patchwork one. I think that one's way cuter, but let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. After I'm done, I give it a little bit of a press and then I take it over to my cutting mat and I'm just going to cut off all that excess so it's out of my way. And then here I'm just trying to decide where I want it and how I want the design to appear on my pillow. And then I flip it over, and then on the wrong side I use my template to draw out my heart design, and then I'm just going to again cut off some of the excess. Here I have my backing piece, so I'm just going to lay these right sides together and pin them together so that I can take them to the sewing machine. And that line that I drew there for my heart, I'm actually going to use that as my sewing guide, so I'm just going to try to sew right along that line. It makes it a little bit easier, especially if you're new to sewing curves. Sometimes having a line to follow makes it a lot easier. So this might be a helpful tip for you if you struggle with curves like I did when I started. And then you just want to make sure that you're back stitching when you start and when you stop, and to leave an opening big enough for turning it right sides out and for stuffing it with your batting later on. Here I'm using my pinking shears to just cut all the way around. If you don't have pinking shears, you can just use a scissor and make like little snips in there or clips, but this makes it a lot easier. I got it pretty cheap on Amazon. And now we need to make a little cut in there. Make sure that you don't cut your stitches. Just do a little snip, or even like a couple, just to make it so that we can open it up a little bit better. See, there you can see how it splits open nicely now. That'll make that curve or point look a lot cleaner when you turn it right sides out. And here I'm just using my orange lining to turn it right sides out. I don't have a purple one. And the batting I'm using, I actually got out of one of my kids' big stuffed animals because they kept ripping it open and I got so annoyed with it. So I just took all the batting out of there, put it in my sewing room, and now I use it for projects. Great way to recycle. And I'm just going to sew this shut with a needle and thread by hand. It's up to you if you want to use your machine or not. And now for the second one, I drew a heart on my batting, and I'm just going to grab random scraps, or I guess not really random because I do kind of audition them. And then I sew them down with a 1/4 inch, cut off the excess, and then I'm going to be testing out some of my specialty stitches on my machine. I've never really played with these before. And there you can see you get a nice little design, and it makes it look like you hand stitched it down. I think it's going to be so cute in the end. And like I said, I'm going to be playing around with a whole bunch of them, so they're not all going to be the same. I think it'll just give it a nice, cute little uniqueness. See, there's a different stitch. I think that one looks really nice too, but I did prefer the first one. I kind of wish I had done them all with that first one. And here I'm just continuing on with sewing on a bunch of little patches until I have that whole heart that I drew on there covered out, and then I can cut that one out and repeat the steps I did on the first pillow with sewing it right sides together with a backing piece and then hand stitching it shut after I've stuffed it. Okay, so I have all my pieces sewn on there now, and then I'm just going to put it right sides together with my backing, and I drew a heart on there like I did on my other one so that I have a guide to sew. Just makes it a little bit easier. This is a lot smaller one, but I didn't really want these for use or anything. They're just kind of for decor. But you could make these any size you wanted to, just make your templates bigger, and then here they are. I think they turned out so cute. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching.